Frankly speaking, I wouldn't be able to comment on the political aspect of it, but there is something more serious which Mr. Poonawalla hinted at and which I think merits attention. On the 22nd of March, just a few days ago, there was an event held where awards for journalistic excellence were given, and the editor of a leading newspaper of this country, in the presence of the Chief Justice of India, specifically reposed faith in the institution of the judiciary, calling it, in the words of the Chief Justice, the North Star, the Dhruva of Bharatiya democracy. So I assume that the media certainly continues to have faith in the impartiality of the judiciary and its commitment to the Constitution. Now, this entire episode has been triggered as a consequence of a decision of a court. And that decision is being called into question on grounds of being partisan, political partisanship. And this has effectively become the reason and the trigger for the disqualification and the subsequent so-called interference of foreign parties. A Supreme Court and a judiciary which is constantly want to taking notice of all sorts of issues under the sun in the name of suo motu proceedings should take notice of the specific statements being made with respect to the outcome, the judicial outcome, saying that this particular verdict was arrived at because of a political pressure or because it is located in a particular state thanks to the dispensation in that particular state. The allegation of partisanship couldn't get more direct, and this has to be treated as a textbook instance of contempt. Now, I would actually suggest that someone from the BJP or anybody else move the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court to take cognizance of these allegations. The external interference and all these aspects are in the realm of the executive, that the executive will handle it from a foreign policy perspective. But from a legal perspective, when someone makes these allegations, they are directly calling into question the manner in which a particular court of law has functioned, and that needs to be taken cognizance of. Nobody has been able to respond to what is the specific legal infirmity in the decision of the court, and why shouldn't it lead to a legal consequence by way of a disqualification. What is the slip between step number 1 and step number 2? And frankly speaking, in light of the meeting that was scheduled under the leadership and stewardship of the King of Baramati district in Maharashtra, frankly, who has benefited from this disqualification? I would always say that the BJP star campaigner is Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and his disqualification and his being removed from the parliament is the BJP's biggest loss, and perhaps a gain for everybody else who wants him out of that particular position. So I don't know what is it that the BJP stands to gain from the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi, because if anything, that gives him a smidgen of sympathy which he otherwise deserves for actually being in politics.